Now it is.
HFR. MarketVitals.io. Market Vitals live streaming with Miss Trade, Matt Davio. It's a Monday. Definitely a Monday, Matt. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday. Happy slow mo Monday.
Slow mo. Not if you're a hog trader, Matt. Not if you're a hog trader.
Okay.
Plenty of speed as hogs are continuing through the roof.
What do you get, like an hour and a half in that market?
Hey, listen, there's a reason why on the floor the guys retired to the meets, right? 9:20 to 1:20. Now we have an 8:30 opening, 6:30 our time, like the rest of the world. They got soft, man. These old guys lost their step. They should have said, "Hey, no, we're not the rest of the world. We're still 9:30 to 1. That's what we do." But they didn't.
2.5 hours.
They give them another hour on the inside.
They could
anyway,
probably.
Matt, you know more about this story than I do, but let's just talk about this.
Before you get into the story, let me give you a little backdrop. Oregon, the state of Oregon, has allowed kids to play sports, and they started playing them, sometime in February. Right? They did. Football's done. They played their 8-week season already, and now you're moving on to baseball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, track and field. The thing about it in Oregon, our esteemed governor, Kate Brown, has made it, the mandate, the law, that these kids, no matter what sport they're playing, indoor, outdoors, football, basketball, you have to wear a mask. So I'll lead in with that.
Yeah, I mean, and I've seen some of the TikTok.
So this made national news over the weekend, and as it should. I mean, you watch the pros play, and these kids are, if there's a case at the school, they're shutting her down, right? We've already seen that happen here a couple times when they went back to school. So they've already got restrictions in place. You're outside running, go ahead, run the clip here, because this is just crazy.
Well, I mean, so yeah, this is the clip. Maggie Williams, junior runner at Summit High School, ran the 800 meter in record time. She
smokes the record from one of the girls who was an All-American last year. Smokes it, right?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But severely oxygen deprived. I mean, imagine what she could have done without the mask.
Exactly.
It's so ridiculous. And I love how they try to say, well, we're following the science. No, you're not. You're not following the science. You're conveniently following the science, because there's never been any science around masks outside ever. So, you know what? And then, Novogratz tried to tweet, come on, masks outside. Let's stick with the science, but we know that's the science is telling us this. Mike had always told us this. And I said in my tweet to him, he's got mission drift now. Like there's mission drift. You're supposed to be towing the line here, and he's even questioning the ridiculousness of the outdoor mask mandate. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with price discovery, Matt. I just wanted to bring it up.
Well,
congratulate Maggie Williams. Congratulations, Maggie.
Let the kids perform under the best environment, and is that good? My question is, if this was good for the kids, she wouldn't be passing out at the finish line. I'm sorry.
And then they showed the high school football players cutting a hole in the mask to get their mouthpiece in.
I mean, so my son had a lacrosse game. They wear masks, they wear helmets, the whole thing, and they had to put a mask on underneath while they're playing. Guess what? They're all down because they're freaking running hundreds up and down the field all day. That's all they do is sprint. No, thank you. You don't need a mask for that.
All right, Matt.
Let the kids play.
That's as much as we talk about that.
Let the kids play.
Let's talk price discovery. And we had a request inside the network to talk about the dollar currencies. And I will continue to have somewhat of a disagreement with you that there is the dollar index is a dollar against a basket of currencies. And in that basket, there can be a little bit of alpha had by owning one versus the other instead of just owning the index.
Sure.
Anyway, today it seems to be playing out, especially the Aussie and the Canada, which were both up more than around 1%. Now I've given some of that back. We talked about this last week. The Canada was trading around 79.95 to 80.05, and it's 80.65 this morning. But it really looks to me like these, and we'll call them resource-rich currencies, are going to fare better in a commodity super cycle, which we surely seem to be in.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I mean, the Aussie and the Canadian dollar have been going up for a year and a half with everything else. And the dollar, again, has been about the only thing that's been going down for the last year and a half. Now, it had a little bounce here this first 4 months of the calendar year. Let me just show the dollar here, and then you can kind of get a picture
because
of what I'm saying.
I haven't looked at this other thing that I want to compare it to. But.
So we've had this is, let me just get you a year-to-date chart to start with, and then we'll fractal out from there. But not a heck of a lot. We had this huge move to 93.46, and now we've been straight down almost 4 weeks. And again, the market's up 4 weeks in a row, the dollar's down. That's the way this market works. If the dollar is going up, the market's going up, down. And if it's not, everything's going up. So that's where we've been locked in. So that's why I said it's a very boring market, because it's all driven by this right now. And until this turns, we're going to be going one way, which is up, which is new highs by a tick or so every day in the SPOOs. The lows that we set early here in 01, we're down here at 89.14. We're coming right back to the profile, on this 6-month chart, Bob. So, if you want a place to get into the dollar, this sure is a big haircut, because we went from 93.46 and we're at 90.80 right now, and 90.40 is the point of control. I don't see us just rushing through all this like butter yet. More time we could, but I just don't see it happening unless there's something, again, macro wise, that makes this go to a new low. And if it does, we're all screwed. So either way, I wouldn't root for a lower dollar, but I would definitely be buying the dollar here.
All right, let me
excuse me.
Well, bless you. Let me share. Of course, I can't share because I'm disabled from sharing. Let me show you while Matt enables me.
You're in the penalty box. You're in the penalty box because you went skiing this morning.
I still got my suspenders on from skiing this morning. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here anyway. I would not be living in Bend, Oregon, if there wasn't a skiable mountain. That is for certain. What I wanted to point out.
That's a debatable point at times.
I wanted to point out, and this is a monthly, very long term, Matt. Definitely very long term. And I talked about this. The Canadian is a very similar, kind of like 3 months into the 4th month sideways here, but for sure looking like they want to press higher. That's the Aussie. And here's the Canada with a nice respect of this monthly momentum levels, and just looks like it definitely wants to go check this high from September of 17. And that high was 82.91. Looks like they want to go test it. But I want to get back to the nuance of taking the dollar out of it. All right. So if you're long this one, you're long Canada, short US dollar. And this is Chicago Mercantile Exchange futures contracts. Let me just tell you that. Chicago Mercantile Exchange futures, definitely the futures. But then you look at something like the euro, and unfortunately, it's telling the same story. And the yen, this is the one I wanted to point out. So there might be even more alpha, right? Taking the dollar out and being long Canada, short yen. So in the Merc, if you're long a Canadian dollar contract, you're long Canada, short the dollar. And if you're short a dollar yen, you're short the yen, long a dollar. The dollars cancel themselves out. And in effect, in the FX market, you'd be long Canada, short yen. I just wanted to point it out because sometimes there's that nuance, and you can't get that just holding the dollar index, because the dollar index is the dollar and long a basket of currencies. It's just a little bit of nuance, a little bit of extra alpha that for sure professional currency traders look. Sometimes there's just a better story in a cross that is not involving the dollar. And that's one way you can play it with the Merc futures contracts. Bingo.
Bingo, bango.
Matt, let's stick with the Merc, right? Let's stick with the Merc because this was in the news. It's been in the news, but the The premiere is there's May 3rd, micro Bitcoin futures. It's a 50th, 1/50th the size of Bitcoin.
So that starts on Monday.
Exactly. But this is the more important piece of the story because never before has this happened, Matthew. And I'm going to just get my face out of the way here so you can see it. And I can do that. Micro Bitcoin futures available for trading 24/7 from the CME group. Yes, micro Bitcoin trading can be transacted 24/7. Cryptos never sleep. They got to be hiring some positions at the CME to.
What's the symbol going to be on this, Bob? Do we know?
I wish I was that prepared for a segment, Matt.
But you were skiing, just to make sure.
But we will have that information for you for sure. And I want to talk crypto a little bit more, but I think this is really fascinating that the Merc, and this is what happens too. At some point, the Merc says, well, you know what? There's people trading Saturday and Sunday. Like, what else might people want to trade Saturday and Sunday? And the market's going to go. I mean, they're not doing this for Bitcoin micros. If you don't think that they're going to, they got to hire somebody anyway to watch it, right? There's got to always be somebody on. So
maybe they'll get into the sports gaming biz for the weekend.
I'm high. I'm for that. Let's get a ladder ticket going on the. All right, hold on a second. Let's talk crypto because there's I can't wait to share this one. All righty, crypto after dark. The underbelly stories, Matt, and we talked about this on Friday. Distributed open source products only become relevant through developer adoption. Developers and early adopters, they're the viral marketing. And he was talking about this social network called BitClout. Matt, so I figured, you know what? I'm going to do my due diligence and I'm going to get involved. And this was our, the why part of our segment. And I just want to bring this up because this is the why not. I wasn't paying attention, and I sent $152 or $192, I forget which, to BitClout on the blockchain, and it cost me $41 fucking dollars. No, and I'm like, seriously, I wasn't. It's on me. I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't expect to be bent over that badly to send either one. And the funny thing is, I saw recently after doing this, I saw how somebody sent like $100 million, right? And it was the same $41 to send 100 million that it was for me to send 152. For me,
so again, as seems typical of the crypto world, the little guy just gets fucked. In the pet rock space. This
is a huge part of the why not until they get this kind of fucking shit figured out.
Well, they got to figure it out. You don't have it figured out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Matt. And then lastly, so that was the why not.
Buyer beware.
This is the why, Matt. There's another why on crypto. Yeah. Come Rocket coin surges 634% a single day, and the market cap breaks 140 million. Mr. Whale is saying, what in the actual fuck is going on here?
Where do you trade Come Rocket? But
I gotta tell you.
By the way, it looks to me like it blew its load. Hate to say it.
It's for sure. I can't wait for the ad. What's their Super Bowl commercial going to be like? ComeRocket.com. I don't even know.
It's the Beaksy rocket, but just with other special effects.
I don't know what they're trying to disrupt here with the Come Rocket coin. But I'm willing. Hold on a second.
Maybe it's an app. That
let's blow off the Beaksy rocket. Anyway, Matt, enough fun. Come Rocket. Coming to a crypto exchange near you. Careful with the dial. It's got come on it. And don't change the channel. I don't know. There's so many places we could go, but let's talk prices. That, Matt, they shook me. I got long Bitcoin for the weekend, right? And they shook me out yesterday. Um, why don't you bring it up and then I'll bring it up, because we for sure have a ambiguous 10% fully up right now. Bring it up.
10% up on the bit turd this morning.
Yeah, it's up 5,000.
Well, it's up more than that. It hit 46s, so it went from 46 to 54, which is about 15%. But who's counting? This thing's broken, so it needed a bounce. It needed
bring it up. We're not seeing it. Bring it up.
Okay. Apologize for my mistake. We're bouncing right back to this 56 level, which would be, again, I think anywhere where we are now up to 58 or so should be sell, baby, sell. So if you had those two-way little micros, I'd be probably putting a few on here and putting a few offered at 56 and a few more at 58. That's kind of how I would play it out, Bob. But it just doesn't look pretty to me. This is a really broken chart. And, the snapback 65 to 47, that's 18,000. So 9 is halfway. That puts you to 56. We're almost there. We'll probably be there by tonight. It won't take long. That's the good thing about crypto. It just it basically is like listening to an Audible book at 5x. It trades that fast. It doesn't wait, because there's no real algos running that market like they are with the spoos. So I think that's how it works. It's a lot easier to run the spoos than it is the Bitcoin, because there's no participation really. There's really no volume.
Well, I'm going to take the other side of this bet.
Yeah. And
I think here on a standard deviation momentum basis, they got me. I got long on the 610, the way I like the way that looked. And then, if I'm not going to be at the con, I decided when they broke yesterday afternoon, and it was on giant volume. Somebody in Asia puked a giant position.
Oh, the Bitcoin whale again?
I'm not sure if it was the Bitcoin whale, and who knows if it was.
Maybe it was
like legitimate volume.
Maybe it was
for me. It
was the cum rocket whale. I think is what it was.
It was cum rocket. But for me, over the past several months here, this is the daily. When they've held lower momentum and then trade out of it, they seem to rally pretty good off of it. They did it here, they did it there, they did it here, and it looks like they're going to trade out of it.
The forceps in your momentum chart are interesting. You get solid forceps formation.
I'm just telling you, I don't mind.
You got a curling over the top and a curling over the bottom.
They got to hold 51,000. I will find a place to get long here over the next day or so. And I think they go make new highs. And I know I don't want to see these things just reverse and trade right back in that lower momentum area. And that's fine with me. That's the way I'm going to play it.
Let's see. 18,000. How much did we drop there? 18,000 divided by 18 divided by 65. So we dropped 28%. Bob's calling for all-time highs already. Okay.
No, yeah. Actually, if we close strong and can hold the momentum level, that's what I'm calling for.
Yeah. Close strong win. Where? Why?
Today.
Oh,
today.
Okay.
Today's close, if we stay anywhere near where it is. And then tomorrow, if they hold 51,000, I'm going to guess that's where that momentum level is.
Mm-hmm.
Come in at tomorrow. That's my stop. And you can buy it here, anywhere between here and 51,000. If they close on a daily basis back in low momentum, you got to be out. Pretty simple setup as far as I'm concerned.
I can tell you when those, I can tell you I'll be watching. So I can't wait. Can't wait.
All right. What else you want to talk about, Matt?
Well, Dogecoin isn't following. It's the granddaddy here. So can you explain that to me? Usually it just follows,
Well, all the pet rocks, some are more obedient pets than others. I think that's broken because everybody knows it was a pet rock scam to begin with.
I'm hearing from all the bros that it's going to $1 now. So
well, you know what? It's high limit poker, so it might. I mean,
4x from here. It's just settled into 26 cents. It's nice and comfy right at the top end of this profile that we're looking at.
If you could move any money in and out of it, any real money,
And the volume, by the way, the volume is just going to hell.
Yeah, I know.
This is what's so great about this stuff is like, I look at this stuff, it does matter. And if this was going to continue higher, the volume would be like up here somewhere. And instead it's just like it's like 1/10 of what it was the day it blew off. It's the day it shot its cum rocket, it it was done. Like there's nothing left in the vehicle. So I find that interesting. And by the way, let me bring up Bitcoin because I think it's the same story. All you're getting is trapped shorts, late shorts that piled on here yesterday, late in the day, midday, whenever that was, 1 o'clock.
That was me. Yeah, I got caught. Well, I was long.
They trapped the new shorts who had missed the 18,000, which this is not the time to get short if you missed all this. But now that it's bounced, here's your gift. So if you were looking to get short, here's your gift. You just got a 47 to 54, which again, that's a 15, 16% move. Halfback, as we talked about, is somewhere in that 56 level. So, let's see what happens. I would love to sell 56 on those micros by Monday. So get it there for me, Bobby.
You're going to have a chance for sure.
Get it there for me. But we should talk about something, real that you can put in your mouth and eat. And that's corn, wheat, and beans, all making new highs again today. All of them. So I did not see that. It must have been a report or something over the weekend. I'm not involved in them right now. But again, 681, I'll just run through them real quick. 681 on corn going parabolic through the roof. And then beans, they're up 25. Just crazy moves, right? Up to 1545 or so is the high. So not far from its high here. And it's closed for the day already. And then wheat also 25. This is a monster move. I mean, 3.5%, Bob. 746. I want to just fractal out a little to see where we are in the grand scheme. I think we took out that high. Yeah, we did. We took out that high from May of 14. So that, we're in 7-year new territory. 7-year new territory. That's bullish. That's bullish. So any pullbacks here, Bob, I'll be buying here on a pullback because it has definitely short-term been stretched to the bejesus by the cum rocket. So the cum rocket here took you, really from, we're up $1 in 5 days. So any pullback that I could see towards $7 on the first pullback, I'd be a buyer if that happens tomorrow, the next day. So there you go. There's a good opportunity for that is lining up. Same thing on the corn. That thing is, we went from 580 or so up, and another $1 move. Huge.
Yeah, and
move.
it was lock limit today. So
yeah, all these were pushing 5, and then they sold off right away. And now they're trying to see if they want to maybe test the high and then roll over one more time. But again, these things are way out of value. They're so super stretched, but the momentum game here might be.
You know what though? I got to tell you something that way out of value is a relevant thing when it comes to food.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people when gas prices, food
habits
will change.
Let me ask you this: What do you make of the news over the weekend of the Biden administration saying no more meat, or you can only have one?
Yeah, burger. I heard that was fucking
one burger a month. Yada yada.
I heard that he didn't say it. That wasn't in his plan.
I mean, the farmers are a little up in arms this morning. That's what I've been hearing from some of the farmers.
Let me ask you this, though, Matt. Congratulations, Joe Biden, for kicking Turkey square in the nuts and saying, let's call it what it is. It was a genocide. Can we call it what it was? It was a genocide. The first thing out of his mouth that I actually applauded. And I don't know how you give him flack for it. Listen, call it a spade a spade. You know what? 1 million people, most of them Christians, Matt. Mm-hmm. Onward, Christian soldiers.
Well, I don't know what his play is with that. I'm sure he's got.
It's amazing because nobody else would say it for a generation, 2 generations. Nobody would say it.
Right.
I don't know what to make of it either.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's something coming on the backside of it that we don't know about yet. So and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I think we need airspace in Turkey. I think that's probably important. So,
well, if he said it, that it diminishes our opportunity to use their bases. They're very angry, Matt. They're very angry with us.
I'm sure they are.
All right, let me share one last thing before we go, and that's the SPOO chart, because I just don't see, this thing looks like it's talk about cum rockets. It really wants to go. I can't see any reason to sell this before whatever this collar is, 42. What is it? Come on, 42.15, the daily collar. But when you fractal out to the 3-day, bong, moonshot available, weekly, bong, moonshot available. We're going to roll the month at the end of the week, monthly, moonshot. I mean, this thing just it's just, I don't know. I don't know how you sell it.
You don't buy it.
Find places to
You can't
buy
buy
it
it
then, Matt.
You
Thank
can't buy it when it's up 20 days in a row, but I'm not selling it either. So
Okay. Sidelines with you.
I'm on the sidelines for SPOOs because it's also like 7 points wide every day. It's not worth my time. There's nothing there for a day trader. So if you're day trading, find something else because this ain't it.
All right. I think that's it, Matt.
I do have one more chart I'll throw up because we haven't talked about it, and I want to kind of talk about how's the world doing. And for me, that one stock retail wise is always Walmart. And we haven't looked at it, so let's take a look at it here, Bob. And Walmart traded as high as 154 or so in November into the holiday season, and then it had a huge sell-off from 154 down to 125. Again, nobody's talking about it, but recently it's had a huge rally from 125 up here to, what did it hit, 141 or so. And for me, I think this is a good area probably, and it's probably already started to roll over. And I just thought I'd bring it up because I do think that this is a good barometer for, kind of the U.S. economy. If you want one stock, this is probably it for me. If I have to look at one stock and say, where are we heading? Where are we going? And again, this had a huge move from, 2016 back when it was $57 up here to the 155s, 156s. So I'm not, it's gotten a lot choppy over the last, really since last summer, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, the consumer is kind of beholden to the government right now, especially that market. I mean, if you really look at it, that's their clientele, the ones that are getting the stimmies. And so is this telling us that we're maybe, there's not much left, there's not much juice left in the box? Or is it just a garden variety, 20% off sale that is going to resume? I'll take the don't on this. I
agree with you.
Unless we make a new high, I think the consumer's kind of seen the best days, especially this consumer that's, just paycheck to paycheck, stimmy to stimmy. I think this is telling a little bit of a story for me in the broader markets.
And I noticed somewhere where, a lot of these investment bank and their trading desks are cautioning for a very choppy summer, which is going to be great. I like choppy summers,
I hope it is.
Trading ranges.
I hope it is because I'm kind of tired of this one-way train 20 days in a row. That it's just not normal. And so when things aren't normal, I have no problem pulling myself out of the market and trading things that are being run by machines somewhere. Until that changes, I'll wait. There's plenty of junk stocks to sell every day still. Every day.
Every day. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, please visit us at marketvitals.io and share in the community. Let's make it if it's going to be a choppy summer, you need somebody to help you with your risk mitigation. Always important to have a voice of reason. Man, I got off that mountain just in time, man. It's fully clouded back over. I got a few sunny laps. Nice. You trade for a reason. You got to figure that out too. All right, Matt, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob. We'll see you back here on Tuesday.
Right on.